Hello and welcome to this O&DR Modurol video. Now this is a little bit unusual video for our channel. Normally it's all about my Jaguar XJ40 or the XJ40 model, brochures, how-to videos, etc. But in this case I'd previously done a video about another Jaguar, an XJ40 Chasseur brochure. I'd done a video about that, and one of the an owner contacted me, Phil Greenwood, and asked me what I knew about the model. And he'd inherited a car from his father and he wanted to know roughly how much I thought it was worth. So in this video I'm going to ask you guys what you think it's worth. I will go through some of the details we know about the car. And okay, so getting into the video, this is the XJ40 Chasseur number 21. This is video 207 in our series of XJ videos. Obviously this is not about an XJ, but about an extremely rare XJ model. Now this is number 21 of 30 of a Jaguar XJ40, specially modified. The XJ40 was actually manufactured between 1986 and 1994. Overall 208,733 were made. So obviously these 30 cars are very, very special. In this video I'm going to break it down into several sections so we can get a grip on what the car is and its history. First of all, we'll explain what is Chasseur. Secondly, what is the Stealth Spec. Thirdly, a few details about this particular car, number 21 of 30, Phil Greenwood's car. And then the final big question, section 4, what do we think it's worth? We'll try and get some sort of rough guide or estimation. I'm interested in your feedback on that. Okay, so what is Chasseur? So here's a Chasseur Developments press release from the period, and it actually describes the Chasseur story beginning in 1984 when the managing director of the company, Chaz Whittaker, was in Germany as an RAF exchange pilot. He saw a rapidly growing market for specialist expensive BMW and Mercedes-Benz models from companies such as Heritage, Alpina, Brabus and AMG, and decided that there should be a strong demand for the equivalent Jaguar model built to the very same high standards for the ultimate combination of high-speed cruising and impeccable handling. Now on his return to the UK, he decided to develop such a car. By 1986, it was an open secret that Jaguar were about to announce the first entirely new model for 19 years, the XJ40. So Chaz Whittaker decided to put all his development efforts into that new model. Now, the XJ6 models, basically that resulted, had an international reputation as soft-riding, rapid but quiet luxury cars with a level of refinement possibly only bettered by Rolls-Royce. The typical XJ6 or Daimler driver is a successful businessman, probably in the middle 40s, early 50s. He's more interested in a luxurious ride and image rather than an outright performance. Such has not always been the case. Previously, during the 1950s and 60s, Jaguar saloons, in particular the 3.8 litre Mark II, were deemed to be the fastest cars on the road outside of out-and-out sports cars such as Ferraris and Jaguar's own legendary E-Type. So there is a strong market for a car with Jaguar's luxury combined with the speed and handling of the fastest specialist BMW and Mercedes-Benz models. So you can see here the Chaz Whittaker who ran Chasseur was looking at a sportier executive car that Jaguar wasn't providing. Bit of background on Chaz Whittaker then. As I say, he was an RAF officer. He actually started Chasseur in 1995. He then went on to form Paramount Performance, which is still going today, in 1998. He then actually worked, was part of Racing Green Cars from 2002, and then he worked for Straight 86 from 2011 onto his retirement. So a very strong link to lots of Jaguar performance. So then the Stealth Spec. So the actual product that Chaz was looking for was he was looking for a package. The cars were costing between £25,000 and £36,000, depending on whether he wanted an XJ6 or a Daimler. And his package was basically another £15,000, so half as much again. And in so, he was developing a car that was significantly altered in the areas of engine power, steering, suspension, handling, appearance, and aerodynamic efficiency, and yet remaining stunning looking and instantly identifiable as a Jaguar sports car. So the result was these fast executive cars. Now the full Chasseur Stealth Spec, as I say, was high performance, lots of bodywork mods, not just body kits, but also a lot of aerodynamic work underneath the vehicle that you couldn't see. The suspension and steering were both tuned. The wheels and tyres were altered to give their sporty feel, but both giving enhanced levels of handling and response. And obviously the engine was highly tuned together with turbocharging. Now if you want to go, I've went through the spec in detail in video 132. If you want to look at all that detail, please take a look at that video. I'm not going to repeat it all again today. So the car in particular, number 21 of 30. So Phil shared some photos with us. Hopefully he'll share some more as time goes on. But here we have the car. Obviously it's lowered suspension. It's adjustable. It's got the special alloy wheels, the sill covers. As a lower front spoiler, again with lots of aerodynamic kit underneath. There's a full underbody aero kit, I believe, under the car. The special air bonnet or bonnet air intakes, which I've never seen before, but particular to this car, I don't think they're used. I think there's purely a visual thing. At the back you got the rear spoiler, the different bumper. I believe there's also an aero diffuser underneath that, and obviously the sports exhaust system. The heart of the car then is this 4-litre straight 6 engine tuned by Turbo Technics. Now they upgraded it to 340 brake horsepower with twin turbos. I mean, it's madness really. As I say, the engine conversion is shown by the ID plate on that engine there, number 21, actually converted by Turbo Technics Limited technician Peter Bland, if Peter's still about. And there's also an identification plate on the dashboard, again, which gives the number of the car, number 21, which is a very nice number, lucky for some. The actual gearbox is a 4-speed ZF automatic transmission. There are no switches in the centre console here. On some of the cars Chaz developed, he did put switches here for suspension and steering, tuning. So the big question, what is this car worth? Well, it's a 1990 car. It's a 4-litre car, so it's the bigger engine of the XJs. It's based on the Sovereign, not the XJ6, so it's the bigger, or so the better spec. As I say, it was registered in the 10th of August 1990. Cars of similar standard that are for sale on Auto Trader currently are retailing at about £8,000. You can see two examples here from where we are today in March 2024. There are some other cars, slightly different colours. So is that 7,000 with a few more miles, or even got lower mileage cars, 7,500 in a green colour. The specification of this particular car, as I say, is 1990 4-litre straight 6, 340 bhp torque, 405 pounds-foot torque. Note 60 is at, well, it's stated at 5.9 seconds. The standard car, 4-litre car, is 7.1. The top speed 170. The standard car is 138 miles an hour. So it's definitely got the legs, these cars. There are some original paperwork with the car, some ownership stuff. When we look at the vehicle's details on the DVLA, it's currently SORN. The last MOT was in 2022, so it has been on the road, even though it has got was roughly under 50,000 miles. There is some MOT history, albeit a little bit patchy, but it has been on and off the road right up until recently. So I don't think it's going to be a basket case as this particular Chasseur model, but it's definitely going to probably need some work. It's quite an old car. It does have a private number plate. I did look to DVLA to see if they had anything for sale similar, and there wasn't. I also looked up national numbers. The purchase price of a similar plate they had there was 5403 DG. They were asking £3,150, so you're looking circa £3,000 if you were to look to buy the plate. I also looked at Reg Transfers, another private registration site, and again a 4-letter to 4-number 2-letter plate. So there's 1904 DG. That was advertised £4,000, knocked down to £3,000. But again, these are purchase prices. If you're buying and your name doesn't have the initials DG, you're not going to be paying that sort of money. So the value summary then: a standard car with low miles with an MOT is roughly between 8 and 10,000. The number plate, basically 4 numbers, 2 letters, is roughly 3. But this is not a standard car. Standard cars do tend to be worth more money, albeit it's a very particular, professionally tuned, performance-tuned car, and it has no MOT. So the value of the car is a little bit grey. As opposed to when you go onto the number plate, not everybody has the initials DG, so not everybody wants the plate. So it's really open to offers. Obviously, if you're selling the plate professionally, you can probably get 3k for it, but in this case, I'm not so sure. So add the two figures, you're looking somewhere up to 10k, I would say. But what do you think? These are very particular cars. As I say, there's only 30 out of 200,000 made to this spec. I'm not sure how many are red. I'm not sure how many were in 1990. So I think this is probably an extremely rare car, and might well be worth a premium. So please let me know in the comments what you think this car is worth. Okay, interestingly, Phil inherited the car from his father. He is looking to sell, so if you want to contact Phil and take a look at the car in detail and offer him some money, I'm sure he'd be glad to hear from you. His contact details will be in the video description. If they're no longer there, he sold it and I've taken them out. So take a look if you're interested. Okay, so that's the video. I'm really interested to know what people think. I'm going to try and get Phil to send me some more photos and details of the car, so stay tuned for more information. If you like this sort of video, please press the thumbs up, subscribe, etc. And see you later. Thank you very much for watching.